Hey everybody, my name is Rydo and we are about to start a series for the 2006 game called Sam and Max Save the World. It was season 1 of 3 seasons. Save the World's the first season. That we are going to start with episode 1, Culture Shock. But before we get into that, I have to just off the bat say it was a nightmare in 2015 when I'm recording this to get this to actually run. And that's pretty unacceptable. A 9-year-old game that's being still sold on Steam to this day doesn't even launch. It doesn't. There is a trick. You have to uh, basically try to launch it once, I believe, and then you have to use a program like Notepad++ to open a file in the directory with the executable called prefs.property or something like that. And then you have to find the word windowed with a 0 after it and change that to windowed with a 1 after it, and then save the file. And if you did everything right, then it will launch in windowed mode, which is okay. So that's a really simple update for Telltale to put out, to say just launch in windowed mode so it actually works on modern operating systems. And I don't even think it's really just Windows 10. I don't think it worked in Windows 8. I don't think it worked in Windows 7. A lot of people online were saying it needed to be in Vista compatibility mode. So if you're going back to Vista, that's a real long time ago. And there is a support on the support forum of Steam for this game. There is a description on what to do. It's on the second page when I was reading it, so I had to scroll to the second page about in the middle to get it to launch in Windows. But then that brings about a bigger problem. I record everything in 1080p. It's a pretty standard resolution these days. And when we go over here to the options and look, the highest resolution that you can set in game is 1280 by 960 versus 1080p, which would be 1920 by 1080. So that's actually quite a lot of pixels and space. So the in windowed mode, it then is incredibly small, and that's no good either. So then I had to go find a non-affiliated program, which you can Google, called, I believe, Telltale Resolution, that will go into the settings file, and I had to manually kind of hack it to run at 1080p. Now it is running at 1080p just fine in windowed mode, but for my purposes of recording now, I have to then set the resolution of my PC to a lot higher, which then makes it smaller again, and then I had to even be able to see things, had to basically use the zoom button on my TV itself to even slightly come close to the resolution. So this game just doesn't work. It just doesn't work being in windowed mode at such a low resolution. Those would be two simple things to do. Launch it in windowed mode, launch it at 1080p, and then it will probably be fine for most people. I ran into more problems. Another point I want to point out to the options before we start, sorry this is taking so long, is that the audio, I always when I'm recording turn my audio to about 50% so people can hear me. The voice was at 100%. Then the music was 1 down, and then the effects were 3 down. And so I just moved everything down a little bit and ended up with this. which is rather strange. Normally you would balance your game so everything should be at maximum in your opinion. You shouldn't, you wouldn't have by default, saying, well, I think voice should be louder and effects should be quieter and music should be somewhere in the middle. Maybe it gives you more options. Maybe if you just really do want to listen to the music more, you could turn it up. Or if you wanted to listen to the effects more, you could turn it up. But you can always turn it up, because you can always turn the thing you don't want turned up down and then amplify either through a TV or an amplifier the volume. And most people don't ever need to amplify. Anyway, so that's enough of the rant on how to play. We are not going to talk about that anymore. We're going to just play this game in close to 30-minute episodes and hopefully beat it. Yeah, well, no, hopefully beat it. This is a point-and-click adventure game. We're going to absolutely beat it. Let us begin. Starting a new game.
Quit moving around so much, bobblehead.
When are we gonna get another case, Sam? Surely the local lawbreakers must miss our esoteric brand of personalized criminal justice.
Patience is a sharp razor to swallow, little buddy. Okay, don't scream this time.
Ah, I got it! I got it! Hello?
Leave Swiss cheese by the rat hole, or you'll never see your precious phone alive again. Jiminy Christmas Eve in a padlocked sweatbox. Some misguidedly ballsy felons napped our phone.
Eerie. I just went cheese shopping. How did they know?
Be sure it's Swiss cheese, right? And be quick about it.
Ordinarily, I hate yielding to extortion, but I have to admit I'm half charmed by the sheer spunk of that oily little perp. Where'd you put the cheese, Max?
Gosh, it was hours ago. You know I have the memory of a dried trout.
Sadly, yes I do. Well, it's gotta be somewhere in this room.
Okay, so we're back to where we were. Now notice at the very beginning it said a Telltale and GameTap game. This is the first Sam & Max game made by Telltale. There were several made by LucasArts before, and it's, I believe, new voice actors for both of the characters. Let me know down in the comments if I'm inaccurate about that. I know it's at least one new voice actor. And I don't know anything about GameTap, but it's not a service I probably have ever heard of, so I don't know if it would be used. It was probably some kind of concept like Steam that didn't take off enough. So, point-and-click adventure, very classic point-and-click adventure 2, versus what Telltale games are now, which are more dialogue chosen. So we're just gonna click on everything like we do on a point-and-click adventure.
Remember our motorcycle trip through the Midwest?
Just you, me, and the authorities from 7 states. But those were quieter times.
Oh yeah, and it is, if you haven't caught on, definitely a comedic style game. These two are supposed to be private investigators. This rabbit, Max, and then Sam is who you actually play as.
Remember our trip to the moon, Max?
Like cottage cheese through a strainer, Sam.
You continue to baffle me, little pal.
I have here my inventory with my big gun, and I can point it. I go into a targeting mode.
Tempting sometimes, but I've become fond of the little guy.
if I need to shoot anything. If I don't need to shoot anything, I just click on that. But I'm not going to be shooting much in this game.
No dice. One of these days we're gonna finish that game.
I'm still working on getting the rest of the darts from the police impound.
So notice that he's walking around randomly, so when it focused on him, he was behind the television. We don't need to walk out the office door, I believe. We are doing a little tutorial
Hello,
here.
Mr. Spatula. How's the
Find
weather
the
in there?
cheese. Mr. Spatula is their fish in the water tank.
Where's the rest of the news collection, Max?
It's a surprise.
Some stuff back here can't be clicked on. Not really surprising that things in the corners wouldn't be clickable. See what's on TV.
Life troubling your digestion? Reality blocking your passages? Expel your troubles with Emetics, the handbook for multicolored happiness, and separate your bliss.
Hey, that's that personal color spectrum book.
Self-help for the helplessly selfish.
Perfect. I'll take 2.
Interesting.
I bought that VCR at the supermarket.
So you know it's a good one.
Still smells like asparagus, though.
Yeah, VCRs, wow.
Expel your troubles with Emetics, the handbook for multicolored
So
happiness.
it's just gonna
and
show me
separate
this
your
commercial every
bliss.
time.
I think I've seen this.
Now on point and click adventures, you definitely have the problem that you might think about clicking
I
something
think
twice.
Hubert could use some water, Max.
I'm training him to fetch it himself.
They named their plant Hubert. Interesting. So you have the thought that maybe sometimes you need to click on something twice, but in most point-and-click adventures, that's not the case. Let's look at Max's desk.
No comment.
No comment. Let's look in this donut box. He just knocks him out
Westmont's
of the
donuts.
way.
Don't throw that out. I'm saving it for a science experiment.
You bet, little buddy.
Get the boxing glove.
This might come in handy.
Don't do that again.
So we pick something up. Now we have the boxing glove and the gun. Let's look out the window. Well, besides this graffiti and back to the office, it doesn't seem like there's anything
They
I
say
can do
graffiti
right
is the
now.
poetry of our time.
Just what we need. More lame poetry.
So back to the office. We could try the door.
We'd really better not leave until we've taken care of this Swiss cheese ransom the phone deal.
Check the bulletin board.
When I got this thing, I thought it would be useful.
Where else would we keep the pieces of paper that we're never going to look at again?
Bowling
Good
ball.
old Lou.
Who's Lou again?
The bowling ball, of course.
Filing cabinet.
20 years worth of electric bills take up a surprising amount of space.
Yeah, I don't think you could go 20 years without paying your electricity bill and still have electricity.
Ah, yes, I remember that case. Particularly gruesome.
Let's see. Jesse James's hand.
We should have Jesse James's hand appraised one of these days.
I bet it's especially valuable because it's autographed.
And over here in the corner, again, nothing that you can click on. I feel like by setting the resolution wider, I'm actually seeing more of the game than you normally would. There'd be a little bit more zoomed in on them. But I don't think that matters. I think it's only going to make for a better experience. And it's a heck of a lot better than having black bars on either side of the game recording.
Aha!
Oh, there it is.
In the closet. So we grab some cheese.
Unfortunately, this is not Swiss cheese.
So what?
So, the rat was very specific about wanting Swiss cheese in particular.
Well, this could definitely be a problem if you didn't know that Swiss cheese is known for having holes in it. But since I do know that, we'll just pull out our gun and shoot the cheese.
Take that, you law-breaking dairy products.
Sam, no! The cheese was innocent!
Innocent? I think not.
And now we've got Swiss cheese.
Voila, Swiss cheese. Or close enough to fool the casual observer, anyway.
Don't say voila.
Now, let's see if we can make a mousetrap. We've got some things here. Let's put the bowling ball up here. Can we combine things, the bowling ball and the boxing glove?
I'd rather punch other things.
How about put the bowling ball on top of the bulletin
Nope.
board? How about we put the Swiss cheese with the rat hole then?
Greetings. The members of the Benevolent Brotherhood of Vermin would like to thank you for your offering.
The members of Sam and Max would like their phone back now.
If you don't mind.
I regret to inform you the situation has changed, and I am unable to comply with your request. A list of additional demands for the return of the phone is as follows.
Now, let's discuss this calmly.
Let's debone the smarmy little skis and see if the phone's in there.
I ain't talking, coppers. Jimmy Two-Teeth ain't no rat. Well, I ain't talking.
Alright, so dialogue choices. These are pretty old dialogue choices here, too. I mean, yeah, I'm so used to the new Telltale games where it's all controller based and you only have 4. Here I have a scrolling amount. So we get to play good cop or bad cop. Sam will be playing the part of, well, good cop, and Max will be the bad cop. Let's start with my partner is dangerous.
Look, I want to help you, but my partner is a little unhinged. I'm afraid I may be unable to keep him from harming you in some colorfully gruesome fashion.
Let me at him, Sam.
I can take care of myself.
Alright, now let's see. I'll wring your little neck.
I'm about ready to wring your scrawny, trash-eating neck.
You think you're scary?
You don't know where his hands have been.
Or when I last washed them.
Who cares? I'm a rat, remember? A dog face. Your partner's giving me a headache.
Okay. So, if it's giving him a headache, maybe I torture your ears. Got a headache,
You
eh?
mentioned a headache. Would you like some aspirin? Oh, and while I'm at it, is there anything else I can do to make you comfortable? Are you thirsty, perhaps? Lights too bright?
Well, that's sporting of you. Now you mention it, I really don't like being up here so high. I got me a thing about heights. They make me nervous, you know?
Oh, really?
Oh. So now we have the option here. He's divulging information, so I'll hang him out to dry. Put him up at...
Don't like heights, eh? How'd you like it if I dangled your greasy hide out the window?
Hey, you wouldn't. Wait!
I warn you, I'm known for my fuzzy white butterfingers.
It's true. You should see him trying to tie an ascot.
All right, have mercy!
I've had mercy. It was unpleasantly gooey, like things that have fallen onto pavement from a great height.
I give up! Take your phone and let me go!
Ah, for the love of...
Oh, wow.
I wish I could unsee that. Hello. Yes? Great gouts of steaming magma on a beeline for the orphanage. We're on our way.
Yeah! Ow!
Where's the rat?
I let him go. Who was on the phone?
It was the commissioner, Max. Multiple reports of malfeasance in the neighborhood.
Oh, joy! That's my second favorite feasance.
Idiot. We've got to get down to the corner store right away.
So weird phone here. It's wireless, but it's an old school dial phone. It's kind of weird to even see a phone in 2015.
Hello, Mr. Pizza? Send over another gargantuan anchovy and hot sauce special, please.
Okay, so we gotta get to the commissioners right away. Let's go. Just knock him out of the way. It's a kind of weird way to do it because he does it so often when he's in the way. He just
They
knocks
say
him up in
graffiti
the
is
air.
the poetry of our time.
Just what we need. More lame poetry.
Same comment in a different position. So the one thing that
One way.
One way, dead end. Street signs are such fitting metaphors for the human condition.
Remind me to refill your prescriptions.
one thing that has to be lobbied against this series of Sam & Max games, all 3 seasons pretty much, is they very heavily focus around this block of stuff.
Tampering with the mail is a federal offense, punishable by fine and imprisonment.
As we found out after the incident with the garden hose. Ah, memories.
So things do change, but we do, for many episodes, go only that far for maybe half the game. Here we have a guy spray painting the graffiti. And this is not really a big enough area.
Takes me back to my childhood.
Now, the reason why that might be a bad thing is it's repetitive.
Takes me back to my childhood.
Oh, the fire hydrant takes him back to his child. But the reason why it's a good thing is this is a point-and-click adventure, and it would be very easy to get stuck and be wandering all over a larger map and never be able to find the elements you needed.
Looks like he's got Boston baked beans in there this month.
How do they stay fresh?
They don't.
So we have Bosco's Inconvenience. You do get to this diner on some of them, but right now you don't. Here's a van. Let's look at the newspaper box.
It says they've bred a horse with 8 legs.
Does it run twice as fast?
No, but it does eat twice as much. It says cloning rights activists are cloning themselves to create a bigger voting bloc.
It works for Locust.
Now, when we went through that dialogue choice before with the rat, I pretty much solved it on the first try. You normally wouldn't do that, but if it happens, it's going to happen. I don't see a real reason for me to click the wrong things and stretch out this series. So you might end up seeing me play rather well because I have played these games before, obviously.
Say there, unfashionably dressed street urchin.
Oh, you made me mess up. Now I have to start all over.
Yowzers, you are one ugly kid. Hey, I know you.
Oh, that's right. You're one of the lovable scamps from that old TV show about the singing soda jerks.
It's called the Soda Poppers. And the 70s are not old.
Specs, it's you. Wow, an actual celebrity vandalizing our neighborhood. This is great.
Let's see, so we have 3 options here, and it's only a Sam this time. We could say, you're under arrest. We can ask about the spray paintings, or we can say, remember when you're famous. And for this, we'll just go through them all.
Boy, you sure were a famous, oddly underdeveloped teen celebrity at one time.
I'm still famous.
Are you?
Like 1,000,000.1 times more famous than you.
Well, we're really more known in the 18 to 34-year-old repeat criminal demographic.
How about an autograph?
Say, how about an autograph for my pal?
You can sign my butt. Make it out to Squinky.
I don't sign butts anymore. People get ticklish and they move and it gets all messed up.
I'll risk it.
Sorry, I can't stop painting. This has to be perfect.
What was your catchphrase?
What was that catchphrase you used to say on your show?
It was like, you messed me up, or something like that.
Huh. You made me mess up, which you just did. Thanks a lot.
Oh, yeah.
What have you been up
So
to?
Specs, what are you up to these days? Any new projects?
Yes, I have a new light in my life, and his name is Brady Culture. He's the genius behind the IBO Ocular Fitness Program. You really should try one of his videos.
IBO.
IBO sounds like an electronic archery toy.
IBO is the truly visionary ocular fitness program. Try the video today.
Where can I get this video?
Where can I find a copy of the video?
They carry him over at Bosco's. You should get it.
Enough about that.
Sounds fascinating, but enough about that.
You can never get enough of Brady Culture's IBO.
Let's see. So we're deep into a branching dialogue here.
Didn't I see you on an episode of Celebrity Slap Fight?
I was desperate. I was heavy into 3-ring binders at the time, and I needed the money.
You got your clock cleaned by that lady from Old and in the Way.
Never saw that walker coming.
So we apparently didn't need that dialogue. So it's disappeared. Now something about what you've been up to lately is probably going to have to do with some of the plot, whatever the plot is. We don't even know
Well,
yet.
that's nice.
So ask about the spray painting and then
Tell me
arrest him.
something about that trendy modern street art you're perpetrating.
What about it?
How did you select your subject matter?
He looks like a fried egg.
It's Brady Culture. He's the genius behind the IBO Ocular Fitness Program. You really should try one of his videos.
I'd rather try a fried egg.
So that gets us back to this dialogue. So
Sounds
that's
fascinating, but enough about that.
You can never get enough of Brady Culture's IBO.
multiple paths are leading us to the same dialogue. So obviously we need to get one of these videos and figure out what this IBO is all about.
Do you live to paint, or do you paint to live?
I don't know why I do it. I just have to paint.
How'd you learn to paint? Is this art or is it advertising?
Did you take lessons to learn how to do that?
No, it just came to me one morning. This morning, in fact.
Is this art, or is it advertising?
I'm not...
Is there really any difference?
Good point, little buddy. Are you aware that vandalism is illegal? And worse, unoriginal.
We like to punish people who do it who aren't us.
How could this be vandalism? Everyone loves Brady Culture.
You messed up.
Is the paint supposed to go outside the lines like that?
What? No! Where?
I'm just pulling your dwarfish leg, my friend.
Don't do that!
You messed up again.
Max, is that a fly in the paint there?
What? No! Where?
Just kidding again.
And people wonder why I need therapy.
And that exhausts all the dialogue choices. Notice that there were some things I could have clicked on that aren't there
Well,
anymore.
we'll leave you to it.
But you have to agree to paint me next.
Sorry, I only paint Brady Culture.
Max, you've got the TV schedule memorized. Weren't the soda poppers going to be featured on one of those grim celebrity tell-alls today?
Oh yeah, on channel 173, the Child Star Expose Network, which we only get when it's convenient.
So, there's something of the story is going to happen here. We don't know what. We've got some more things to click on before we leave. We might as well be thorough. And so that's what we will be doing next episode. I end all of my episodes the same way. I ask you to like this video. I ask you to share it with your friends. I ask you to comment if you want to. And watch every second of my videos, because all that helps me with YouTube. if you want to support me, you can click on my name Rydo. That gets you to my main YouTube page. On the right is a blue button that says support this channel. If you click that and make a donation, I would very much appreciate it. And if you want to friend or follow me on social media sites like Twitter, Facebook, Google+, friend me on Steam, friend me on Battle.net, follow me on Tumblr. There are links down below for all of those. And that is it. So thank you for watching this episode. Have a good evening.